Vivek Ramaswamy met with locals in Springfield, Ohio to discuss concerns of immigration, including claims of eating household pets.
The FTC has released the results of an investigation into social media companies' violations of user privacy. Find out what they revealed and what they recommend as a response.
Flu season is on its way and Deweese Health Center has a plan for it. Stay tuned to learn more.
I'm here for the 42nd Annual Black Squirrel Festival at Risman Plaza, and already behind me, lines are beginning to form.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Good Friday evening. Thank you so much for joining us on this edition of KSTV News at 5. I'm Michael Naanan.
And I'm Tyler Schlosser.
Well, it's that time of the year in which Kent State celebrates its secondary mascot, the black squirrel.
And our very own Jillian Fleck is there at the scene to tell us more about the Black Squirrel Festival. Hi, Jillian.
I'm here at Risman Plaza right now, and we're going to check out this year's Black Squirrel Festival. This yearly event is hosted by Flash Activities Board and includes student organizations, food, and music for students to check out. In addition, there are free shirts for students to tie-dye, and they get to check out this year's homecoming court. Let's see what the Flash Activities Board president has to say about it.
I think part of it is because it's a great place for students to come together as a community, but also, I mean, free shirts are a big thing too that always helps. Black Squirrel Fest is one thing that I remember going to freshman year, and I just loved meeting new people and coming with my new friends, and it was such a great experience. I'm hoping that students are just really happy and excited about the more fab events that we have going on. We've got Flash Bash coming up next week, so I'm hoping that this is just kind of like a nice, subtle kickoff to a lot of our bigger events throughout the year.
As Parents and Family Weekend kicks off, students and their parents can still have time to come to the event as it ends at 7 p.m. For the full story, go to kentwire.com. I'm Jillian Flack, reporting for KSTV.
Thank you, Jillian. While keeping things on the university, there's still plenty more to do this weekend around Kent State.
Our KSTV correspondent Emilio Hernandez joins us with more information about on-campus events. What can you tell us, Emilio?
Thanks, guys. Hello, Portage County. I'm Emilio Hernandez, and I'm here to tell you about what's happening in Kent State University. Our first story is about the upcoming flu season. Deweese Health Center will be offering 3 flu clinics during the 2024-2025 flu season for students, faculty, and staff. The dates, time, and locations of the clinics can be found on Deweese Health Center's website under Events. To schedule an appointment at the clinics, call 330-672-2322 or schedule online by visiting the patient portal. Walk-ins are accepted as long as you bring your health insurance card to your appointment. Flu vaccines are available daily at Deweese Health Center for anyone who can't go to the clinics. Monday is Flash Bash, an annual event to kick off homecoming week for Kent State. It includes exclusive door prizes, a mechanical football bowl, painting crafts, food, and more. The fun begins from 6 to 8 p.m. on the student green. Bring your flashcard to partake in the event. Wednesday nights are college skate nights at the KSU Ice Arena for students with current college ID. Guests may accompany a KSU college student, but they must be 18 or older and have an ID. The cost of the event is $5, which includes skate rental. Admission sales begin 30 minutes prior to session start time, and they only accept credit or debit card. Starting this Friday is Parents and Family Appreciation Weekend, with events hosted with family in mind all throughout the weekend. The events highlight the various Kent State traditions combined with the excitement of family-friendly programming. For a list of the events and the locations, go to the Parents Family Engagement website. Under the Parents Family Weekend section, pick events and activities and see what events you like. That's all I have for today, folks. For more, go to kentwire.com. I'm Emilio Hernandez. Have a great weekend, Portage County.
3 people were shot on Wednesday on Clifford Avenue in Akron following an altercation at a, quote, gathering. 1 man was found shot in the leg on scene, and 2 other shooting victims were found at a local hospital, along with 1 woman who was trampled during the stampede following the shooting. There are currently no known suspects, and the Akron PD is asking anyone with information to come forward.
The Portage County NAACP chapter met last night in what it called an emergency meeting at the Kent United Church of Christ. This meeting comes in response to a Facebook post by Portage County Sheriff Bruce Zukowski, where he encouraged residents to write down the home addresses of people with Kamala Harris signs in their yard. Zukowski has come out saying that his comments were misrepresented and that he has a First Amendment right to make such posts.
32-year-old Terriana Pascal was sentenced yesterday to 23 years to life in prison for the murder of Cleveland State University professor Todd Morgan. She pled guilty to single counts of aggravated murder, theft, aggravated robbery, and tampering with evidence. She has since given an apology to the victim's family, stating that she's very sorry and hopes that one day they can find it in their hearts to forgive her.
Your first forecast on Kent Stater TV.
Not feel like the traditional fall weather we are accustomed to. As of now, Northeast Ohio is experiencing warm temperatures and drought conditions.
If you're planning on going apple picking for the autumnal equinox, be sure to plan for warm weather and potentially rainy conditions.
And now we check on the weather across Northeast Ohio. North on the lake, especially Toledo and Akron Canton, are seeing in the low 80s. And that is actually the coldest it gets in Ohio as of now. And as you go south into central Ohio, it'll be in the high 80s. And even in southern Ohio and northern Kentucky, you're seeing some low 90s temperatures. And for those of you who are in western Pennsylvania, it is currently in the mid to low 80s at the moment. But let's zoom in closer to home, because in northeast Ohio on the lake, it is much colder to be expected, including Ashtabula County, which is experiencing high 70s weather. And as you go near Pennsylvania, it is also a little bit colder. It is in those low 80s. But surprisingly, Mansfield is at 87 degrees. There's a whole 8-degree difference between Mansfield and Ashtabula, despite them not being that far apart. That is the lake effect for you. Well, as we move on, we head into, well, that is all the time I have for now, but we will give you updates later, especially on that 7-day forecast. Now, let's get right back to the news, Tyler.
Vivek Ramaswamy recently held a town meeting in Springfield, Ohio, hoping to clarify the actual concerns of town citizens regarding Haitian migrants following recent national attention. Many speakers echoed similar statements, such as not blaming immigrant individuals and believing they hold no malice, but also that their school systems and other public services cannot accommodate the influx, and some are calling for mass deportation.
Absolutely. It is tearing up our financial situation here. We are awakened every day to bomb threats in the schools. Now, the worst that's unnerving is when we hear about bomb threats in our schools. I mean, all of it is unnerving, but when you have babies into the school system and you hear about bomb threats, we're going to panic. So it has caused nothing but panic here in our city.
And Springfield has, of course, been making national headlines.
With more updates on how politicians from around the U.S. are saying about the Buckeye State, we turn things over to CNN.
Playing a dangerous game of divide and conquer.
The only Haitian American currently serving in Congress, Florida Democrat Sheila Sherfulis McCormick, blasting the rhetoric and misinformation being leveled at Springfield, Ohio's Haitian residents.
I would like to tell all the Haitian Americans who are living in fear right now that there should be no fear, no tolerance, and no place for it.
Enough is enough.
The Congressional Black Caucus joining a growing choir of bipartisan voices calling for an end to unfounded and dangerous rumors.
This certainly is incredibly tragic and completely untrue, and this should not have happened.
Ohio's Republican governor penned a scathing op-ed in Friday's New York Times, saying he was saddened by repeated false claims that Haitian residents were eating pets that, quote, lack evidence and disparage the legal migrants living in Springfield. The city's mayor confirms that a Springfield official told a Vance campaign staffer before the debate that those rumors were baseless. Still,
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
It was difficult to see. It was difficult to hear at that level.
Springfield Mayor Rob Rue granted himself emergency powers Thursday to deal with the ongoing threats to public safety.
I'm going to Springfield.
Mayor Rue has said hosting any candidate would be a challenge given the volatile climate. But if one does come,
if a presidential candidate was going to come and bring a message of coming together, trying to work through problems, talk about the real concerns in immigration reform, that would be great.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
The Federal Trade Commission has released a staff report investigation into the collection and selling of private user data by social media companies such as Meta, YouTube, and TikTok. It reveals that they have profited heavily off selling user data against their consent and have failed to protect vulnerable demographics from threats such as identity theft and stalking. It also recommends Congress pass federal privacy legislation.
General Motors is recalling nearly 450,000 SUVs and pickup trucks over an electronic brake control module that may fail to warn the driver if there is a loss of brake fluid, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration said today. The agency says a loss of brake fluid may reduce the brake performance and potentially cause a crash.
A large array of missiles were launched into Israel this morning, where they came from and what they were targeting coming up.
Reveals a new connection between processed foods and the disease. We'll have more in your KSTV Health Updates.
Is it okay over there? Is that good?
Jackie boy, look, we have been through a lot together.
Right up before this rain, this rain goes away.
Well, it's just,
How can you hate Star Wars?
Kung Fu Panda.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Here for a late night walk.
Yes.
Late night walks around
Yes.
campus.
Oh I always, the swing.
Do we? Student Center.
What?
Wait, Care, you mean like healthcare?
CARES Center.
Student Center.
Where you can get support.
You think you're just checking your messages or telling a friend you're on your way. They could be the last words you ever type. Make sure you get where you're going.
Welcome to my block party. Glad you can make it. I can do this all day. Your moves are just gay.
Using gay to mean dumb or stupid, not cool. Not in my house, not anywhere. It's not creative, it's offensive to gay people. And you're better than that.
OMG, it's McGruff.
Yes, I am.
It's not my Uncle McGruff the crime dog. No, he's a fake. Oh.
I am McGruff the crime dog. He is the fake. And so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. You're smart. Buy smart.
A Kentucky sheriff allegedly shot and killed a district judge in a courthouse yesterday, according to police. The Letcher County Sheriff, named Sean M. Shiles, has been charged with first-degree murder after firing multiple shots at Judge Kevin Mullins following an argument. As of now, there is no information on the cause of the argument that led to the shooting.
A Republican candidate for North Carolina's governor race announced that he will not drop out after comments were discovered on a pornography website made by him where he described himself as a, quote, black Nazi. The candidate, Mark Robinson, won the Republican nomination after he was endorsed by former President Donald Trump, who referred to him as, quote, Martin Luther King on steroids.
Roughly 130 rockets were fired into Israel from Lebanon this morning, according to Israel Defense Force. No casualties have been reported, though firefighters were dispatched to put out fires related to the missile explosions. Hezbollah came out saying they were targeting an air defense base as well as missile defense headquarters.
back. Well, let's look at the weather for tomorrow because it looks like it's going to be pretty sunny at 75 degrees. It is a beautiful day, if I do say so myself, and no chance of rain, thankfully. Well, winds will be traveling not too fast, thankfully, and we will be preparing for that wonderful fall weather when it comes eventually, though we will not see it immediately, as generally that doesn't tend to happen as soon as fall begins. Now let's take a look at the extended forecast over the next 7 days because it will be sunny over the weekend, thankfully. We'll get a little bit cloudy on Monday and it will be in the low 80s before it begins to rain on Tuesday and Wednesday, and it will be very humid as well, so be sure to bring a rain jacket and definitely try to prepare for the elements. But though thankfully those rainy conditions should disappear on Thursday and Friday, though it will be in the 80s roughly for the entire week. And well, that is all we have for now. For any major weather updates, be sure to check KentWire.com for anything else that may come. I've been Michael Neenan, and Gage, what have you got for us?
Well, thank you very much, Michael, and good evening, Portage County. I'm Gage Wellman, and here's what's new in the health community. Viral videos on TikTok have been suggesting that packages of ramen noodle soup are being recalled for bacteria, with certain users claiming that 5 children have died from infections after consuming the product. However, according to the CDC and Cleveland Clinic, these claims are false and have no backing. Additionally, the USDA's website does not list any recalls for ramen noodles. Medical professionals are arguing that non-alcoholic beer and mocktails should not be sold to minors. In order for these drinks to be sold, they must contain less than 0.5% of alcohol and usually are designed to appear as alcoholic. Experts will have long worried that these non-alcoholic beverages that are dressed up to look like their alcoholic counterparts could be a gateway into alcoholism. Increasing medical evidence shows that consuming heavily processed foods can increase your risk for type 2 diabetes. Processed foods such as candy, soda, and hot dogs contain synthetic additives that can be harmful to your health. Experts say that due to the foods being less filling and high in calorie, contribute to overeating, which may lead to high chances of diabetes. New reports show that early outbreaks of COVID-19 can be traced back to the Hunan seafood market in Wuhan, China. Scientists have also determined a list of animals that were in the area where the most positive samples of the virus were found. The list includes animals such as the raccoon dog, European rabbit, and the marmot. This indicates a strong possibility that the animals were infected at the market and would go on to spread the disease. Well, that's all the health and news that we have for you tonight. For more updates on these stories, please go to KentWire.com. I've been Gage Wellman, and have a wonderful night, Portage County.
Halloween is coming up, and the Akron Zoo is prepared. We've got all the details on their upcoming event. Stay tuned and get spooky.
It's a division rival in taking a look at the game and more coming up next.
Kids will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother and... I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
This is your Kent Stater TV Sports Report.
Good evening, Portage County. My name is Maddox Miller. It's been a busy week in sports with playoffs on the horizon and primetime matchups, so let's get right into it. Starting in Kent, the women's volleyball team had their home opener yesterday and suffered a loss to Cleveland State 3-0. Seniors Karina Salinas and Chelsea Harvey led the way for the Flashes with a combined 19 kills and 27 assists. The Golden Flashes will look to bounce back today as they travel to take on Youngstown at 6 o'clock. Moving to the pitch, the Kent State women's soccer team opened conference play as they defeated Toledo 1-0 yesterday. The lone goal came from senior Sienna Stambolich as she scored her first of the season to get the Flashes their fourth win. Goalie Heidi Marshall also had one saved and kept the Rockets out of the net. The Flashes look to make it a 2-game win streak tomorrow at 1 o'clock as they face Ball State at home. Now moving to the Diamond, yesterday the Cleveland Guardians clinched a playoff berth with a 3-2 win over the Minnesota Twins. This will be Cleveland's 6th postseason appearance in 9 years and the first under new manager Stephen Vogt. Looking ahead, the Guardians take on the St. Louis Cardinals today as they now need 3 wins to lock up the AL Central Division. Now hopping straight into the action of Thursday Night Football, we have the Jets taking on the Patriots, and Allen Lazard found the end zone quick for the Jets. Aaron Rodgers' first home touchdown in New York. And heading to the beginning of the second quarter, it's going to continue to be Jets, and it's going to continue to be Aaron Rodgers and Allen Lazard as he makes one man miss, makes another, or breaks out of it, and dives his way into the 40-yard line, converting the third down. Now on the same drive, 2nd and 17, got a long way to go, but Rodgers is going to hit tight end Tyler Conklin, who's going to barrel his way into the red zone and for the first down. And on 3rd and goal, same drive, Breece Hall's going to spin his way to get the Jets a 14-0 lead, and another goal to go situation. Rodgers finds star receiver Garrett Wilson for 7 more. Rodgers with his first home touchdown to Garrett Wilson, as Wilson extended his way across the pylon. This game was all Jets. The Jets would tack on another field goal to make it 24-3 and to get Aaron Rodgers his first home win in New York. Well, that's all I have for you tonight. To stay up to date on all things Kent and more, go to kentwire.com. I've been Maddox Miller, and have a great night, Portage County.
Pumpkin patches around Ohio are all springing into business alongside their harvest. Stay tuned to find out where to source your perfect spooky decor.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? And now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So always separate raw meat from vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Spooky season is coming up at the Akron Zoo, which means their annual Boo at the Zoo event is on the horizon. They'll have separate tickets for regular attendants and trick-or-treaters who can harvest sweet treats from 12 stations across the zoo. The event will run from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. each weekend from October 12th through the 27th.
Fall season is just around the corner, which means pumpkins are ready for picking. And thankfully, there's no lack of places in Northeast Ohio to find those big orange spooky squashes. Some local farms with pumpkins include Mapleside Farms in Brunswick, Mays Valley and Kingsway Pumpkin Farms in Hartville, Honeyhaven Farm in Ashland, and Hillcrest Orchards in Amherst. Yeah, you know, Tyler, I'm a really big fan of pumpkin picking. I think that it marks the beginning of fall. In my opinion, it's almost like getting a tree for the holiday season. But, you know, are you into carving pumpkins at all?
I am actually. Just last week at my local market, they were selling pumpkins for decorative purposes, and I went, this is it. This is my time. This is my time to shine. I grabbed 3 of them, tossed it across my living room, didn't ask my roommate. He walked in, he said, why is there a pumpkin on the fridge? And I said, it's Halloween, baby. And that's just what it is. And we're actually planning on scheduling a pumpkin carving contest at some point here. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, you know what? But I was thinking, what if we made pumpkin spicy? Actually, you know what? They already did that with coffee. It's called a pumpkin spice latte, funny enough. You know, I'm actually not the biggest fan of pumpkin spice lattes. Personally, I think that, you know, it's a little bit overhyped, but do you like pumpkin spice lattes at all, Tyler?
It's overhyped time now. It is, and I agree with you there. But you can't deny that it's good. It's the seasonal flavor. There's nothing that Christmas or spring or summer has that can even come close to rivaling it. It's the seasonal drink. I have to appreciate it for that.
I mean, I can't argue with that, but that is all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us.
For all these stories and more, visit our website at KentWired.com and our socials at KentWired. I'm Tyler Schlosser.
And I'm Michael Neenan. Have a great night, Portage County.
I got you. Oh, yeah, I got him.
That stupid controller froze again.
You're only saying that because you're losing.
Bet you bought the cheap one.
That controller is junk too. Is this even real?
You're spending less, so...
Yeah? We'll just buy it again?
Smart kids.
Who are you?
Or what are you?
Hey, I was wondering if you guys wanted any... OMG, it's McGruff.
Yes, I am.
He's not my Uncle McGruff, the crime dog. He's an imposter. He's a fake. Oh!
I am McGruff, the crime dog. He is the fake. And so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. And that, Pops...
could blow up in your face.
That's right, Scruff. Let's take a bite out of crime together and protect ourselves against fakes. Like him.
Who says you're not the fake?
Dude, you're literally missing an arm.
You are smart kids. You're smart. Buy smart.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.